Here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom.
Sorry, y'all. People be fucking saying some wild shit. Oh God. I'm tired, y'all. But what's new? Anyways, what's good, Boom Crew? It's your girl, Any Boom Fanny. And this is Chit Chat and Corned Beef. This is... I look all crazy now because it was sitting there. I was making soap. But this is corned beef, yellow rice and corn, and Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts are burnt as always. I'll put them in a pot to saute them, and I'll just be doing other shit like an idiot. But anyway. My son got me. Today is Saturday. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm tired. And I'm supposed to wash my hair. The plan was to go to the gym, come back, wash my hair, while the conditioner's in my hair, cook and make my soap, and then come sit down and eat. Girl, boy, whoever. I went to the gym, I came back, I started making my soap and started cooking. I said this hair gonna have to wait. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm eating like I just came home, but I'm hungry. I don't know if I should get some tequila. I ain't make no Kool-Aid, so do I have other juice in here? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, so why does this dude that I know, right? And I say no lately because I don't really know him, like, I don't know, I'll explain. So what we gonna call him? We gonna call him Hotep. Anyway, so Hotep is a guy that I met, had to be over a year ago or something like that. I'm so bad with freaking time frames, I don't know. So essentially, Hotep is somebody that I thought I had a lot of, not even stuff in common. I thought that he was intriguing because of we shared the same interests when it came to our beliefs, or so I thought. Let me make sure I fucking eat, because I'm gonna need energy to tell y'all this bullshit. So, me and Hotep exchanged numbers. And when I say y'all, I couldn't remember the last time, even now to this day, and before him, it was a while since I could be with somebody on the phone. No lie, me and him would be on the phone for like 4 or 5 hours, y'all, at a time. And that's minimum. We would just be on the phone. He'd work overnight. I'll be on the phone with him, even though I have to get up early in the morning. On the phone all day because he had a second job or something like that. We would just mac on the phone, right? And it was essentially him, us asking each other questions, and then going off that. Now, I'm not gonna go too much into great detail as to what guides me spiritually, but essentially it has to do with believing in African spirituality. That's a broad spectrum because there's a whole bunch of things that you could believe in when it comes to, you know, how can I say, like, the belief in where you came from, right? Where the original man came from, who you descended from, right? So we talking about all of that, right? And I'm thinking like, yo, he's like really interesting. He's putting me onto some shit, blah blah blah. So I noticed as we got more into the conversation, oh, that's a nice red. Fuck out of here. I noticed that as we got more into the conversation, that his perspective started to be more on this misogynistic type of thing, right? And I was just like, you know, I would say something about it. I'd be like, well, it's not only women that do that. You know, you're saying that women do this and women do that. You know, it's not only women that do that. And I'd be like, yeah, women do that, and this is how we can fix it, but men also do this, and blah, 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 right? So he wasn't one of those people. I'm not, how can I say, I hate when people are talking about, like, it's the battle of the sexes, and nobody ever comes up with a solution. It's just like, men do this, women do this, and nobody could ever be this neutral, okay, well, both parties do this, or men do this, and as a result, women do this, or women do this, and as a result, you understand, it's never this level-headed way of thinking. It's always, to me, I find the extreme of both fucking parties, right? So when he's talking, he's making me be so extreme and being like defensive as a woman that's when he wants to say, oh, you a feminist? And I'm like, no, I'm not a fucking feminist. But everything that comes out your mouth is kind of like, I have to defend myself, and it just so happens that I'm a fucking woman, so now I'm a feminist, right? So that's not how we was talking, because me and him, you know, we was talking so much on the phone that it was just like, you know, a good debate, even if it was a disagreement. So he had said a few alarming things or whatever, so that was that. So I kind of got the feel that there was some undertones of, you know, that woman ain't shit, you have to bow down to us men type of shit. He didn't outright say it, but just as the conversation started to go on, the week started to pass, that's kind of the feel that I was getting from him, right? So I had met him one time, and he had said that he was going to come over. So he said that he was going to come over. He said that he was going to bring me flowers, right? So that day he was supposed to come over, it was like drizzling, barely even that. And he's like, oh, I can't drive in this rain. This is that and third. And I was like, because we was talking about like getting into a relationship or whatever, right? So I was like, you can't drive in this rain. I said, so what makes me think that if I was with you, that you would go above and beyond for me? You can't even drive in this little bit of ass mist. So he did eventually come over, but it was kind of like, I took a mental note of that. Like, I don't like men like that. I don't if you say you're gonna do something, I have said it in a couple other videos, do it. If you cannot do it, you better have a good reason why you can't do it. Because I'm not the type of person that asks for a lot, and I'm not the type of person who asks for these big grand things. So if I see that you can't do something small for me, I don't care who thinks it's petty, you're gone, you're done, right? So he comes over, and he came over with flowers. I forgot where he got them from. No, he didn't come over with flowers. He did not come over with flowers. When he finally did come over, he didn't come to my house. I had met him somewhere. No, I met him like by my building or something like that. And I was like, so you gave me a hard time about coming over. You finally come over, and you don't come over here with flowers like you said you was gonna do? So he's like, oh, you a tough girl. Nigga, this is a test. This is a national emergency announcement, motherfucker. Get it together, all right? So anyway, so he's like, oh, I'll get you flowers. So we go down to the fucking fish store that sells flowers. So the fucking flowers smell like fish. But I digress. He got the flowers, right? Anyway, So I took a mental note of that shit too. So we were sitting in the car talking, and we started talking about sex, and I said something about size. And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna let you know right now, my thing is not big like that." I was like, "Oh my god, this poor guy, this motherfucker big as all hell." Another one of those big niggas with the little fucking Jimmy. So, you know, I was like, "Oh, okay, you know, whatever." But it made sense to me. Everything started to connect. It's always like somebody who has to compensate for what they're lacking. Like, it's always like when a man has a small penis, he always has these big character flaws that's like you can't even handle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Like you go in a room and it's always that it's that one dude or those two dudes are out the group, and they always gotta overcompensate, or they always got this crazy ass way of thinking or some crazy shit like that. And the first thing you think in your head is, this nigga dick little. The fuck out of here. So anyway. So I was like, it makes sense now. So I started to connect the dots. So previous to me meeting him, he had told me over the phone, because you know when you having deep conversations, bitch, the conversation go everywhere. You start talking about the stars, the moon, the sun, literally. Well, I do. You start talking about everything, right? So in one of our conversations, he had told me that he had an ex-girlfriend or whatever, and I forgot why he said they wasn't together. I forgot what he said, why he said it, they broke up or whatever. But essentially, he was telling me about their sex life. He was like, "Oh, that was the best girl that I ever was with. That she gave me a prostate massage. That was the craziest, I don't know if it's called orgasm I ever had." And he was like, "Do you think that's gay?" And I was like, I just said no, because I ain't want to, offend him. It's not that I think it's gay or I think it's not gay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. Like, it depends on the extent of things that you're trying to do in the bed. If that's like this one thing that you did here and there or something like that, or you experienced, okay. But if it's like your go-to, you have to do stuff like that all the time, I'm going to be a little like, what's going on with you? So he said that, so I was like, no. So I started gassing it because I want to know more information. So I'm like, so I was like, do you think that it's gay for a guy to have a dildo put up his ass, right? And he was like, no, if it's with his woman, that's not gay. It's no way you could be gay or do gay stuff if you're in the bedroom with a woman, right? So, okay. I don't wholeheartedly agree with that, because if you're having a fake penis put up your ass, to me, I just feel like at the right day, at the right time, you would have a real one put up your ass. A prostate massage, okay. Nigga, you want a dildo, something that emulates a dick, put up your ass? Shit is a little shaky to me, right? But I'm not necessarily one, like, say if I had a boyfriend and he wanted to try something, I'm not the one that would be like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. Like, all right, we do it, whatever. Either I'm going to be into it or I'm not going to be into it. So that's why I don't really be like running for the hills when I hear shit like that. But I'm piecing all this shit together. You're not really fucking packing. You like things up your ass. You seem to have this underlying hatred for women. Essentially, that's connected to his lack of a relationship with his mother, because he barely talked about her. He praised his father, and his father had fucking 15 kids with God knows how many women. And that man seemed to be the fucking apple of his eye. So, I just started piecing it together, and I was like, oh, you that type of nigga, right? So, what happened? So he went into this whole spew about how certain things are not gay, blah, blah, blah. And there's certain things he wants to try. All this crazy shit. And all of them had to do with inserting something up his anus. I can't believe I'm eating while I'm talking about this, but ain't nobody gonna stop my motherfucking nutrients. I'm hungry. But anyway. I'm like, okay. So one thing about me, get this cat out of here. One thing about me is that, you know how some women could fake the funk? They could be in a dysfunctional relationship or talk to a guy that they not really into or something like that. I'm not like that. I am not like that. I used to have the ability to do that when I was younger. But the more in tune that I got with myself, the more I'm like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. So if I like you and then I'm starting to not like you, you will notice that in my behavior. Right? Sis, I'm telling a story, okay? Say hi. So me and him started bumping heads on the phone because now every time he would say some woman this and woman that shit, now I'm just chewing his fucking head off because I think subconsciously I kind of lost respect for him because he was just too into having things or talking about anal play, basically. So I think subconsciously that's what it is. I'm like one of the women that will punk the shit out of you if I feel like you a bitch ass nigga. Word the fuck up. So he's like, what happened? So we having discussions, but we starting to bump heads now. So now we not on the phone as much or whatever. So we stopped talking eventually. We flat out just stopped talking. He called me or some shit like that. And then we hung up the phone one day and then we just didn't talk anymore. And he had told me about this book. So I think it was like some months later when I called him and I was trying to ask him the name of the book. So we started not talking again, but he would call me in the morning, like for a week he probably did it. He would call me in the morning. Stop! He would call me in the morning and we would have those long conversations, but I really couldn't talk because I was at work. So I remember being on the phone with him one day and here he go with the black woman and this, that, and the third. So I had said to him, I said, what are you doing that's helping the black community that you always got something to say about the black woman? He's still talking about that old ass 90s statistics or the black woman on welfare bullshit. He's still kicking that shit. You know how these niggas try to use that to the fucking thread is, all the thread is going. That shit played the fuck out. He tried to use that, right? So he's so woke and he's so in favor of the community. But me and him had a conversation, like before we had stopped talking and started talking again, like when we first started talking, he asked me, he was like, oh, if we was together and you were to get pregnant, would you keep it? And I was like, yeah. The fuck? So he was like, oh, you wouldn't get on birth control? So I was like, how are you woke? Sis, my God. I was like, how are you woke and you asking a woman to put these crazy chemicals in her body? Right? How are you woke and you so pro-black, but you don't want to continue your legacy? Right? How are you, no, and then, okay, so that's that, right? So I said, no. I said, I haven't been on, first off, I have not been on birth control in God knows how long, because me and birth control just don't get along. My mood swings be off, everything be off. That shit is not for everybody. I want you to stop pulling my bra down. That's what I want, okay? So when he said birth control, I kind of got like, no, what the fuck? I'm not getting on that bullshit. So he was like, oh, if you was to get pregnant, would you keep it? So I was like, yeah. The hell? I said, me and you wouldn't be together just to be together. We wouldn't be shacking up. Isn't the goal, isn't your so-called goal for the black community to unite black women and black men to start loving one another, have children, be married, blah, blah, blah? So he asking me these questions, and it's contradicting what the fuck he claims his ultimate goal for black people is, right? So then he goes to say, he was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for kids, this, that, and the third. So I said, so if I was to get pregnant, would you want me to have an abortion? You know this fake ass fucking Hotep said, yes. Yes. You are so woke, but you would then let me go lay on that fucking metal slab and have an abortion. Like, I'm thinking about this shit. And this goes to show you these fake woke niggas. Them niggas be kicking bullshit knowledge. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Thank you. You're so sweet. Them niggas be kicking bullshit knowledge. He like, I said, how are you for the black community and, you know, populating and increasing the population of black people in America, and you're going to sit here and tell me that you would want me to get an abortion? So one thing about him is, if he ain't really know what to say, or he ain't have an answer, he'll laugh, or he'll be like, oh damn, you crazy, or some shit like that. One of them niggas, right? So he's like, no, I'm just saying, because I said no, that contradicts what you claim your goal is. Sis, please go. Thank you. I can't focus. So when he has said that in conjunction with his sexual endeavors or whatever the fuck, that's when my feelings was just like kaput. I was essentially just being on the phone with him for fucking entertainment purposes, right? So what happened? So I was really offended by that, because he kept saying, yeah, the brothers, I would get a whole bunch of brothers to do this. And he was like, oh, I really don't want to say what I would do, because you never know who's listening. This, that, and the third. And I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. So, which I'll be asking people. So I'm like, so I noticed that he talked about his ex-girlfriend a lot. When he said that abortion shit, I was like, yeah, this nigga fake. Every time you turn around, a black woman is, and the black woman is kicking the black man out the house. That's why they can't, that's why these black boys are turning out gay, because there's no fathers around. You know, y'all know, if you're a black person, especially if you one in America, y'all know the whole bullshit fucking spew. They hit, you know, how can I say this? Like, when a white person who's racist, you know exactly what they're gonna say. Oh, I have a black friend, and like the basic shit that they say. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not racist, I have a black friend, and this is that or that. You know the whole fucking bullet points of what they gonna say. You know the whole bullet points of what these niggas that hate black women that are black are gonna say, right? They're gonna be like, oh, y'all be twerking. Oh, in the welfare system. Oh, in the wigs. Oh, in the single mothers. Oh, in the independent. Same old fucking story, right? It's everybody's fucking fault but their own. So anyway. So he will do that. So eventually, like I said, once I stop liking somebody, I get buck wild with my mouth. I will just be chewing his fucking head off. After a while, the conversation, me and him had stopped talking, because I was at work one day. And this is actually the day I had gotten to the fender bender at work. And me and him is on the phone. And he was like, oh, he had asked me this a few times. he was like, oh, why do you think that you're single? And what did I tell him? I told him I have a low tolerance level. Like, everybody that I know that's in a relationship, they tolerate things to me that's unacceptable. I'm sorry. Like, I had one relationship where I tolerated some shit, like some crazy shit, and then that was that. If I gotta tolerate cheating and lying and verbal abuse and sneakiness and control and possessiveness, then I'm not gonna be in a relationship. Point blank, period. And I'm, to be honest, I don't feel no type of way about that. It's not gonna be the end of the world for me. So he would ask me that, and I'd be like, I have a low tolerance. I have a low tolerance for bullshit and fucked up behavior in a relationship. So he was like, oh, you don't think it's your mouth? I said, yes, that too. I will talk down to somebody if I feel as though they're belittling me. I would dead talk to you like a child. I would dead, you would see me go from super ratchet, to fucking Professor X, and I will read you your fucking rights in a minute, because don't talk to me like I'm dumb. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel that a man is doing that to me, I will fucking diminish. I will obliterate you, like where you stand. Like, you will want to throw your hands with me. So I told him, I said, yeah, it's my mouth. And I said, you know why you got a problem with my mouth? Because you think that you're going to be sitting on the fucking phone talking about the black woman this and the black woman that, and I'm supposed to be sitting here virtually sucking your dick through the fucking phone like, yeah, brother, you right. Yeah, black woman this and black woman that. Nigga, you not brainwashing me. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. I can understand if you was on the phone kicking that shit and also saying what the brothers need to do, but that's not what you on the fucking phone doing. And you think I'm supposed to be just sitting there with the okie doke. No, it's not happening. If you're gonna fucking try to bring up the problems in the black community, you need to be unbiased. You need to be level-headed, and you need to be talking about the problems in general, not just one-sided. That's a very ignorant and immature way of thinking. Sorry. So he mad because I'm not allowing him to do that. He mad because I'm not one of them chicks that's like, okay, I don't dick pander. I will never get dickmatized. I don't ride no nigga dick. I don't chase no man. I'm not doing none of that shit. Fuck out of here. Okay? So the conversation is getting heated, right? So he's like, oh, you don't think it's your mouth? You don't think it's your mouth? I said, so to be funny, I said, let me ask you something. I said, in your world, and I said, answer this honestly. I said, in your world, would women have rights? He said, no, they will not. I said, that's all I needed to know. Because I said, you have an issue with a woman or some woman that you've had in your life or have in your life, and instead of addressing that issue to those individuals, now every fucking black woman on the fucking planet is the enemy. And that's a lot of what these fake ass Hotep niggas do. That's a lot of what these MGTOW, whatever the fuck that group is, that's a lot of what they do. Nobody want to sit on nobody's couch and tell them their problems. They don't want to see a therapist. Nobody want to find a therapeutic way to handle their issues. Nobody want to self-reflect to find out where the fuck their hatred is coming from or where their anger is coming from. They don't. They want to make a social media account, make a channel or something like that, and then get other people who are just like them, who have unresolved issues, to fucking validate what they feel and generalize their feelings. First off, I cannot say that I'm exempt from feeling a way towards black men. I can't say that I'm exempt. But let me tell you something. I have every single right in my fucking bone to feel a way towards black men. I've been molested by black men. I've been raped by a black man. These are different black men. I've been abused by a black man. I did not grow up with a fucking father. So you have to excuse me if there has been times in my life where I felt a certain way. But never, not once, did I try to push the agenda of hating black men. And black men are the reason for every fucking issue in the black community. And this, that, and the third. No. Why? Because before I hit a certain point in my life, I made it my business not to let my past control my behavior. That's what I did. So I can't understand for the life of me why there's people in their 30s, 40s, 50s still owning some shit some bitch did to you back in the fucking 90s. And here you are today making social media accounts claiming to be fucking woke and pushing the black woman ain't shit agenda. Kiss my black ass. Kiss my black ass. The fuck out of here. Niggas legit got unresolved issues. Everybody has unresolved issues. It becomes an issue with me or a woman like me when I have nothing to do with that previous issue, and then you start treating me like shit. It's a fucking problem. I have unresolved issues. So what do? If I find a guy I like, I talk to him. If it don't work out, I'll leave it where it's at. I don't try to force it to work by torturing him with my past relationships and all this crazy shit. These niggas be walking around. They always talking about the angry black woman. You niggas are angry. Y'all the new bitter bitches. God damn. Y'all need to sit on somebody's couch. I'm telling you right now. And the shit that really blows my mind is this black woman that validated. It's black women that validate these men. Because these women have been taught to submit to men. Submitting to a man, there will be nothing wrong with that if it wasn't at the cost of your own emotional well-being. I'm not fucking putting my feelings and my health and my mental stability on the back burner for some man. No, I'm not. These niggas' masculinity has to be validated by a woman. How are you a man if everything tests your masculinity? Every single thing tests your masculinity? Oh, black women love gay men, so that's why it's a whole bunch of gay men. No. You got a little secret that you have in the closet, and you don't want to fucking accept that. So now you running around gay bashing, black woman bashing, and this and that. Handle your scandal, my brother. If you're a man, you're a man. No matter if they put you on Saturn, Mars, you on Earth, you in another country. You are a man. You assert yourself like a man. You conduct yourself like a fucking man. Society cannot move that around. Society can put you in a different direction. This is that and the third. But no matter where the fuck you go, if you was really sure of yourself, you would always be a fucking man. Fuck out of here with that bullshit y'all niggas be kicking. Fake ass knowledge. So the point I'm trying to make, well, the reason I'm telling the story is this nigga be on Instagram. He be on Instagram putting up a whole bunch of memes and shit. Like with black women with weaves, or you know, the basic shit. Oh, he put one up. He put the ovaries up, right? And he was like, there's nothing but death inside the uterus. There would not be no life in there if it wasn't for a man. And this is... And so under one of his pictures, he gonna put, oh, I'm just trying to uplift a lot of sisters. I love my sisters, but I'm just trying to uplift my brothers. Why? And that's another thing. That's another problem that I fucking have. Why, in order to uplift one, must you belittle another? Why? You uplifting brothers? Show a picture of a whole bunch of men in suits going to work and say, I see you, my brother. Good job. We not only thugs. We not thugs. We working men. There's plenty of fucking ways to uplift men without fucking belittling and degrading women. But that's not possible because it's not that you want to uplift men. You want to belittle and degrade women and you don't want to outright do it. Outright do it or obviously do it. So you try to mask it. You try to put flour on a pile of shit. So he had put some post up or whatever. And I forgot what I put up. But essentially I had put up, you do not have, I forgot what post it was. But I was like, you do not have to belittle women to uplift men. I'm gonna unfollow him. But I just wanted to yeah, I just wanted to go on a fucking rant. Watch out for niggas like these. They lure you in with knowledge. Right? And me, I think that I'm a sapiosexual. And I think that's another reason. I feel as though that's another reason why I'm single as well. Because if I talk to you, let's say if you're handsome and you have a decent job and you come off as a decent guy, I'll talk to you, whatever. But I find that I don't get sexually aroused by no man unless he can teach me something. So I think that's the reason why the last few guys that I was talking to, it didn't really go nowhere. Because it's like in the beginning, I was like, okay, I like them. Like Dark and Lovely, I was like, oh, okay, I like him. He was in the military. He's doing this. He's doing that. But then when I started to, his narcissistic ways started to come out, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. And there's women that'll be like, oh, no, he got a good job. And, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm just going to, they okay with shit like that. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. So, essentially, I started talking to him because I felt as though he was intelligent. But people will show you their true colors. And one thing I think that he did not realize about me is I won't ever judge you. I won't ever outright judge you. I'll have a whole conversation with you. I'll ask you probing questions and all that extra shit. And I'll continue the conversation. We keep having more conversation. And in my head, I'm gathering my little information. And then I'm saying, okay, yeah, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. So, yeah, yeah. Me and him never did anything like that. But, anyways, that's the story of Hotep. Hotep did live with his mother, but he had an issue with his mother. He did not want to talk about it. I don't know why. So I believe that's the root of his issue. And to compound that, the ex-girlfriend that he had, I forgot why he said it ended. But yeah. So there's a whole bunch of butt-hurt niggas, no pun intended, walking around here trying to kick that black woman ain't shit. But I love the black woman agenda. And they just kicking fake fucking knowledge. So, anywho's, y'all, I'm fucking tired. I don't even know if I'm gonna eat the rest of this. I'm going to bed. Okay.